Hi, my love. You have been having some things from the past come up, haven't you? I can feel it and it is in the air and it is happening for a reason. So I'm going to give you a little bit of clarity so these feelings that you are feeling feel more manageable and you can understand why they're happening and where they are coming from. So we are just now starting a 2-week eclipse portal cycle. So we got 4 eclipses every year and 2 are about to happen. So it is special and it is rare. And right now the eclipse is beginning in the South Node. So the South Node is all about past karmic cycles, baggage, things that you have suppressed, parts of your personality, issues, anything that has been something that has held you back in life or something that you have tried to like stuff down and not pay attention to and not give light to, it's all coming to the surface now. So if you are feeling like things that you thought that you had put to rest are coming back up, or people from your past that you haven't talked to in a long time, or again, for a lot of you, I'm just getting thoughts and views about yourself that you thought that you had been like, okay, yep, I'm over that, I'm done with that, are now coming back and making you look at those things again and making you question, okay, did I really do the work? Did I really put that to bed? So know that this can be an extremely healing time if you can sit with that energy. If you can see these things that are coming up, whether it is really limiting beliefs about yourself, really limiting beliefs about the world, places where you have been a martyr, places where you haven't given yourself the grace that you give to other people, you will be kind of forced to look at those and see where you've been cheating yourself and where you haven't really given yourself the love that you need to. And a lot of this energy is surrounding relationships. So whether they are relationships with yourself or with other people, they are going to be tested right now. They are going to be challenged. And it's not for a bad reason. It's just to bring light to parts of yourself that maybe you haven't been paying attention to. So I'd say if, someone that's in your life says something to you that really triggers you, instead of being like, well, fuck them, I hate that person, really sit with where that feeling is coming from and try to look at that person as someone that is bringing to light something that you maybe don't want to look at. And that is not to say that if you have assholes in your life, you should pay mind to them, because there are just some people that always spew negativity. But if you are receiving constructive criticism, or someone sets a boundary, or someone says something that is really just triggering to you, sit with that. Don't let the anger consume you so that you don't work on why that trigger appeared. So, for example, if it's someone telling you, yeah, that article that you submitted wasn't really that good, or, you could be doing this different, instead of constantly just like shutting down and putting that negative energy that you're receiving onto that person and being like, well, screw them. Sit with it. Like I said, just sit with it and figure out like why they're saying that to you, why your guides are trying to bring light to that, because I think you will gain a lot of clarity. So the next 2 weeks are going to be all about that. But at the end of the 2 weeks, we will have an eclipse in the North mode, which is all about the future and the things that you have been working towards and planning. So know that if you can come to peace with the energy that's happening right now and embrace it and know what it is, and know that it's here for a reason, and that it's meant to shine a light on something that maybe you're not wanting to look at, you can give yourself some power. Because I think when we can understand what's happening, we get our power back. I think sometimes we aren't one with our power, so we are just this like tumbleweed in the desert, just bloop 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 wherever the hi baby girl, wherever the wind takes you, but if you can know where the winds are going and where they are flowing, you will have a better sense of direction, or you'll be able to fight the wind. But don't fight the wind, just go with wherever the wind goes. And yeah, if there's someone in your life that is bringing you pain and is making you feel less than, that is not someone that you should pay attention to. I'm being called to tell you. Signs and messages from the universe aren't meant to make you feel down. They're not meant to put you down. They're not meant to give you doubt. They are not long, rambling things that you hear in your brain. That is usually your insecurity and your shadow side talking to you. So I was being called to tell you that. So, have your discernment when it is something that you feel like is a call out from the universe, like, hey, work on this, but also have your discernment when it's your own negative and toxic thoughts in there. That's not the universe. The universe speaks with love. The universe speaks in a sense that makes you strive for the future, not points out the places that you have failed in the past. And I'm using air quotes because there is no such thing as failure. And if you want to say there is such a thing as failure, I will tell you that failure is something that we are meant to encounter in life, because without it, we wouldn't have the drive to continue going forward. So, my love, yeah, if you, maybe some of you were wondering, like, when is it that the universe or the angels or the spirits, and if you're someone that's like rolling their eyes over spirits, believe whatever you want, whether it's the universe or some unforeseen force that is somehow pulling the strings of the universe, whatever it is. But if you're feeling like rolling your eyes at stuff like that, I would say maybe do a little bit of shadow work, because you are watching a tarot reading video. So you are kind of into this stuff, and maybe the spirits did bring you here. Yeah, we're gonna do a past, present, and future spread. So maybe the past will represent some of the stuff that you're dealing with. The present will be a good idea of like where you're at, and you'll be able to tell if like, yep, that's kind of where I'm at. This is definitely a message for me. And then the future is maybe what we have coming forward, what can come out of doing this inner work. So we're gonna give this little babies a shuffle. If this message is resonating with you, I cannot talk today. Like, holy crap. Okay. If this message resonated with you today, I would love for you to give me a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, because if you're here, you should definitely subscribe, and leave a comment, because I love hearing from you guys. I love seeing how the messages resonated. And like I've said before, it just makes me feel good. It's nice knowing that I helped someone. And honestly, sometimes reading your messages are exactly like what I needed, because while you should never do things for the sake of getting recognition from other people or for getting praise, because then you will be let down in life, it is still nice to receive it. So I'm going to leave that option open. And yes, give me a like if you haven't yet, because I would give you a like. So I'm going to do past, present, and future. So spirit, source, universe. Okay. Okay, we got the past. All right. We get one. They're jumping out. Present. Oh, okay. I'm gonna keep that in reverse. And can we get one card for the future, please, source? Oh, okay. I got two cards. So I got a hair on my face. I need to trim my bangs so bad. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, King of Swords. Okay. These two cards, I swear to God, they fall out in pretty much every reading that I do. Like, if you're part of my collective, you got some shadow work to do. I mean, don't we all? We all have shadow work to do, but this is like your journey right now. Okay. So I think in the past, and not necessarily in the past, because I think you're still this person. I think you are this warm, loving, kind, empathetic person that just wants to feel connected and unified with the world. I think sometimes you feel like an outsider. I think for most of your life, maybe you felt like you didn't fit in, or you were somehow different from your family or your society, or just different. I think, and you're special. I can feel that, and you're here. I mean, yeah. Anyways, okay. I think in the past, you wanted to be part of this collective with other people, and maybe you had that. Maybe you had a connection with someone or some people that was really meaningful to you, but I think there were some kind of disappointments that came with it. We got the Three of Cups here, and it's these three beautiful women. You don't have to be a woman for this to resonate, but they're coming together and they're bringing their love together, and they are dancing and they are happy and they are coming one as a whole. And I think something happened in the past, and I'm almost getting the number like three. What's that saying? Like 2 is company, like 3 is like not good. Yeah. What I'm getting out of this is that, what is happening? Okay. What I'm getting out of this is that you were pouring into a situation with other people, or maybe you were pouring into other people, but you were somehow the odd man out, or something happened that this unity was torn apart. It was destructed. And I'm almost feeling like you felt cheated in some kind of way by whatever it happened, or maybe something happened with the people that you had to walk away from them. But I think at one point you were either really harmonizing with other people, or you were wanting to harmonize with other people, and it didn't quite go the way you planned. And with the Moon card representing where you are at currently, look at that, I love that card. Okay. With the moon, which the moon is a major arcana card, which means that like where you are right now is a really important and pivotal place in your life. Major arcana cards are not something to be taken lightly, and when you are represented by one of those cards, it usually means that you're going through some pretty big changes, some big energy. Like you are probably feeling really torn and discombobulated, and I think you kind of like the tides flow in and out with the cycles of the moon. I think you're very much connected to the moon, and I think you find yourself going through phases where you feel really energized and really powerful and just really connected with yourself, and then maybe the next day or the next week you feel the complete opposite. You feel like you have no sense of self, you don't know which way is up or down, and you spend that time trying to get back to how you felt before when you were feeling good and grounded, instead of learning to just sit with where you're at now and accept that in life there are tides. You're not always going to be feeling 100%. It's literally impossible, and it wouldn't be a good life if you could have everything you ever wanted. Well, that sounds really good in theory. After a year or two of having that, you would be so bored, and you'd be like those millionaires and billionaires that don't even know what to spend their money on, and they're just doing all these ridiculous things. And I'm going on a tangent right now, and maybe you go on tangents in your head and get distracted from where it is that you're meant to focus. But I think with the moon, know that while you can't always see the path that is ahead of you, there's literally like a path in this card and these 2 dogs that are howling at the moon. Well, you can't, and what I think is really cool, which I actually never noticed before about this card, is that the path not only leads through the ground, but it leads through the water as well. So I think you're being called to, in your present life, ground yourself, but not ground yourself in a way that you are holding yourself back emotionally. So learn how to ground yourself in your emotions. When you are feeling a certain kind of way, instead of pushing that away, instead of that being like the first thing you want to do, try to sit with why it is that that's happening. And I think you'll find that after a while of doing that, when you feel a certain kind of way, it's not going to be this feeling that you have to run away from. It's going to be a feeling of empowerment, because you will be able to take care of yourself. If well, yeah, if you can't ask yourself how you're feeling and you can't figure out why it is that you're feeling something, how could you possibly fix it? And you're a fixer, I can feel that about you. So just how whenever your friends are having a bad day, you try to figure out what's going on and you try to give them some advice and some love, I think you should probably start doing that for yourself. And by probably, I mean you should. So I hope that honestly this moon card and knowing about the eclipse portals right now gives you a little bit of like a, okay, so I'm not crazy, I'm not being punished, this is just the energy that's happening. And it is, you are in a very karmic time right now, not just with the portals, but with the moon card being here. I'm gonna put it back in reverse. So I think with it coming out in reverse, you're holding yourself back. I think there are some emotional blockages that are kind of keeping you from really elevating yourself to the next step. So work on that, please, because I'm working on that as well. Okay, and your future. Okay, you got the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. It's not a bad thing, but know that even when you do the hard work and you do the things that you think are going to propel you to the next level, it's not, like I said, always a positive thing. And I'm not saying that your future isn't positive, because it is, but know that when you get to that like future point that you're trying to get to, there will still be work that needs to be done. We are always in a state of growth. So think of like growth as a continuous journey that we are always on. Like we are quite literally always evolving. So think of success and happiness not as a destination, but as a journey. It's something that you're always going to be on there. If you ever get to the point where you're like, oh hell yeah, I'm successful, this is where I'm at, this is where I'm supposed to be, the universe is gonna see, well, I will show you, and some shit will happen. So, and that's okay, because then you'll just work a little harder to get back to where you were. But with the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Cups, know that it's okay to do things differently. And when you do things differently, what I was saying in my last video, you might feel like an imposter at first. You might feel like what you're doing isn't genuine to the way that you have been in the past. But know that when you're breaking cycles and you're stepping outside of yourself, sometimes it feels wrong, because if you've always been a people pleaser and you're suddenly putting up boundaries, you're gonna get a little bit of pushback from the people that you never had boundaries with, or you might even get a little pushback from that like internal part of you that wants to be a people pleaser. But know that anytime you are feeling like an imposter, the universe wants you to tell yourself, I am me and I am whatever I choose to be. Like literally just have that be like your mantra. Like I am me and I will be whoever I want to be. And anytime you have those kind of limiting thoughts or doubts creep into your mind, literally just repeat that to yourself. You are a creator. You are in constant harmony with the universe, and ultimately you can choose whatever path. You're co-creating with the universe. The universe does not have strings that control you. The universe points things out to you, but it is ultimately your choice on what you do with that. So I want you in the future to do something different in the way you view the world. I would, and your guides are saying, I would invite you to have gratitude, even when the cups have been spilled, even when things aren't what you want them to be, even when things feel heavy, when you're depressed, when you're sad, when life is fucking beating you down. Have gratitude for where you are, for the tenacity that you have to keep going. And know that while there are probably some things in your life that just feel really upside down and feel weird and heavy and you feel stuck and stagnant, there are probably other places in your life where you are thriving and you are doing so amazing, and other people probably look at those aspects of your life like, holy shit, they really have that together. So I know that for every bad quality or bad thing in your life that you can list right now, there is one other thing that is so good. So, like, you know, for example, like for me, sometimes my current everyday job, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it. I am not meant to be one of those people that has a 9 to 5. I want to read tarot all day long and create jewelry and write poetry and be outside in nature. And sometimes I get like really like, oh, this job. But then I instantly turn that thought around and I'm like, you know what, universe? The job might not be exactly what I want to be doing, but I am eternally grateful that you have given me a career that I can pay my bills with. I can feed myself. I've got a little bit of extra money to do fun things with friends, and it has given me a really empowering sense of self. And I've grown a lot through my career. I've been doing what I've been doing for 10 years. And yeah, I think with this card, it comes up in every single reading. So if you are a pessimist, and I'm not saying that in a bad way, if you feel called out, maybe do some inner work on why being called a pessimist triggers you, because maybe you are in that archetype currently, whether you want to admit it or not. But know that in the future, you will have wonderful things at your disposal, but you will also have bad things happen, just like all of us. It's good and bad. You can't help it. But when those things happen in the future, be able to look back on all of the growth that you've done, all of the things that have happened to get you here, and all of the things that you already currently have. So my love, I am going to cut it short because I want to do a few things for myself that are my way of making me feel good before I go to work. So I love you. The universe loves you. We're cheering you on. We are all on this journey. I have my demons that I battle every single day. And hi, baby. And some days I don't even battle the demons. I'm like, you know what? Let's all sit down and have some coffee together. And I'm like picturing that meme where it's like the dog in the burning room and they're like, this is fine. This is fine. Yeah, sometimes you just have to like have some coffee with your demons, like quite literally in hell, and just be like, hey guys, how you doing? What's up? What's bothering you? But yeah, if this resonated, you've got a good sense of humor too. I can like feel that. I'm a pretty jokey person too, but like some of the things I'm saying or like the way things are coming into my head, I can just, yeah. And maybe if you're like, I don't have a good sense of humor, I'm being told you do. So maybe start leaning into that more. But yeah, I love you. The universe loves you. We're all in this together. We're all hoping for the best, but see the best in yourself. You're not a bad person. You're really not that bad. And by you're not that bad, I mean you're fucking amazing. So I love you. If this resonated, I love hearing from you. So if you haven't already, give that like. That subscribe button is right there for the taking. And I love hearing from you guys. Seriously, like you guys are my friends. You guys are my people. I am your friend and I am your people. So with that being said, I love you. It was just 2, 3, 4, 5 as I was saying that. I love that. I love you and the universe loves you. And if you haven't, give yourself that little hug. Tell yourself you love yourself out loud. We don't do enough of that. And I feel like it's going to be a really beautiful sunset today, wherever you are. So maybe try to look at the sunset. Or if you are just waking up, maybe try to look at the sunrise. But yeah, you are loved and you're here for a reason, and have some patience and grace for yourself.